Hey wolves, and welcome back to Rise of the Tomb Raider. Let's jump in where we left off yesterday. There's a thing there. How does that work? And where's that? Okay, so the challenge tomb is apparently in there.
Like they were animals.
I don't think Anna shares our faith. Or she's in this for something else. She's conflicted. I get that. I used to be the same way, but we've all got a part to play in this. Took another patrol to see if I could get another kill. Sure enough, got a remnant at the perimeter. Took my time. Did it with my hands so I could see the light in her eyes go out. Stayed with her until she went cold. Magic. Constantine tells us that with the source we'll live forever. We'll finally look upon the face of God. But I already have. This is where I'm supposed to be. Took me so long to find it, but this is it. I'm home.
That is an extremely difficult question to answer. It has... Oh, sorry. Give me... It has a lot to do with your resolution and stuff like that.
Yeah. First contact was in one of the mine shafts. They shifted all operations to retrieval. But it looks like the revolt came within a week.
Workers finally had enough?
You've seen this place, right?
Incoming! We're under attack! Under fire! Give me suppressive fire, now! Got your back! Come on, let's end this!
Yeah, my guess is you mean 1080p, and I'm actually not sure. And stream 2 at the... Well, I have the 1060 6GB version. There's a 3GB version as well as the of the 10. So, blah, blah, blah. Talking, not working. The 1060 there's a 3GB version. Can I not loot this person? Maybe I have. Bottle. Craft. I won a lot of games on Ultra and stuff like that. But I will not go as far as promise you max resolution settings. Especially not in games I don't know that well. I can promise you that Conan will run extremely well. I can promise you that if your expectations are not too high, that you should be able to no, that's not that logo for the rope reviver. You should be able to do it pretty well. Oh, maybe here. Oh, if you would jump up. It is an extremely nice graphics card. I don't know what the difference will be when they finally release the lower end 20 series cards. Not the RGX ones, but the GTX 20 series cards. So the 60 and below that is only going to be GTX, not RGX, according to the information I have. But I would say it's a brilliant card. Wishes have 1050 Ti. 1050 Ti is just around the same amount of RAM as the 970 had, but it's a slower card altogether. The 60 is kind of the same. I don't really notice a big difference between the 60 I have now and the 70 I had before.
Might still work. Looks like
But
it's
it's
burned
better than the
in a uranium
960, but a bit worse than the 970. At least in the benchmarks I have looked at. So it's not a bad card. I would say it's the lowest end I would personally choose
These are ancient. What did they find
if I
out
also
here?
want to stream. I would never use the 1050, the normal one, or the 1030, I think it's called. I know it can run them games, but I never had my hands on one, so I can't say anything. A friend of mine did ask me if it can run games and stream at the same time. Yeah, I would go with the 60 if it is a possibility. Due to the price of GPUs, there's no reason to go with a lower end. Go with the max you can. Don't try to save on it. Give me 2. I'm back. It was just I heard some noise in the kitchen and I was like, what's happening? So it was my sister taking her food from yesterday. But if you have the possibility to wait an extra month or something and go with a 60, under any circumstances, I would wait till after the 20th this month to do anything, if it's possibility. If it's nothing that really has to be right now, because that is the release of the 80 and the 80 Ti. So I don't think there will be any news, but just in case that they will have news about the 70 release and the 70 price on the RTX. Since I believe RTX is the future, I would also say that if that is a possibility. I know it's not a possibility for many people, and if it's a totally budget, it's probably not. But I believe, after seeing the videos, I believe RTX is the future of graphics. So for that reason, because that some bigger YouTubers, okay, there was nothing that was right, so this was the way. Some bigger YouTubers of the tech channels are saying that the information tells them that they will not be RTX cards if the 60 will be an RTX card. I don't believe so, because it's first gen of RTX. But just in case the 2060 is an RTX and not more expensive, I would go with that. Otherwise, if you can save a little by going with a 10 series card, since no, we have to get rid of that. How do we get rid of that? We cannot use our pickaxe. Oh. So now we're falling down, and next time we get up there, we have to use the pick. Okay, that's how it works. And we cannot walk up here, right? Nope. I've also heard people say that they don't believe in RTX. As the future. Maybe that's the way out. But something in my brain tells me that RTX will be the future. And maybe it's me that is a bit stupid or old-fashioned. But remembering back to 1996, yeah, I'm old, I know. How graphics looks there, and you know, in the whole area of, not area,
Got to see it for myself.
the whole time period. Don't know what it's called. What was it said that we couldn't get more of? I know, man. Yeah. I told everybody that I loved the graphics when the PlayStation 1 came out. Then they showed a view of how the new PlayStation 2 was. And some people said, well, there was no reason that would be successful and stuff like that. And I said, what are you talking about? From a lot of people, graphics is actually some of the most important thing. Many of my friends is like me, we love the story more than the graphics. But they talked about that they had to cut down on the size of the games and stuff like that due to the graphics demands. And people said it would not be anything. I said it would. Now we're on PlayStation 4.
The insignia.
Oh, that is a secret.
It's still half full. I may need this before I'm done here.
She's a drunkard. Well, of course, there's other people than me that said it would be something, but people I know. I can only talk on behalf of people I know. A lot of them didn't believe in
Whatever
better
they found,
graphics
it's got to
and
be
then
there.
sacrificing storyline or length of the game or depth of the game and stuff like that. But I do, and I still do, and I actually hope that we get RTX for consoles. Why did it vibrate? Probably just the room that vibrated. And I could actually see PlayStation once again sacrificing
We can
size
no
of
longer
games.
wait for our brothers outside the mines to begin their resistance. The Soviets have found something they desire more than the poison ore. They found our forefathers' history, have desecrated their tombs. This is the last injustice. We thought at first the old guardians would emerge and punish our tormentors. But now I see we will have to be the instrument of God's retribution. We gather our strength, store picks and axes in secret places. Very soon, those of us that are still well enough will rise up and bury our repressors here before they erase our past along with our present.
Nice.
Makeshift weapons.
And yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Something about the fact that I'm not alone to say that RTX will be the future. Like I was not alone back then. But there will always be those that don't want to see the changes. Or like things fine as they are. I'm just not one of them. Oh yeah, also that. Everybody said it was the limit. Well, when PS, the first one came out, it actually had a better graphics than a lot of the cheaper PCs, and that was the entire selling point. And people said it's the limit. It's the limit. It kind of we are at a point where consoles, even though they are cutting down the frames, had around the same graphics as high-end computers. We could not possibly go any further. And then graphics on PC, it slowly gets better, so you don't really notice it because it's like a little bit this year and a little bit that year. But with PlayStation or consoles, there's a decent amount of years. I believe it was 7 years between PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 or something like that. And people see the difference. And that is the same with the new RTX. The only problem is that you need to put these extra RTX cores on the graphics. Which means that the GPU chip itself, of course, is going to be more expensive. And on console have helped push graphics, I feel like. Because they often are at the same point as high-end computers, but cheaper when they release, but have that cut down in frames and sometimes shadow. You don't have the same ability to change the settings in the same way as on a computer. And the reason they lock it like that is to get the best possible performance. So sometimes consoles at release outperforms PCs, especially at similar prices. But if consoles pick up RTX, then that will help RTX be pressed so much into the future that simply we cannot go around RTX if consoles pick it up. The problem is these bigger chips will probably need better cooling, and unless they make a deal on the next consoles with Nvidia, we're not going to see RTX, which could keep RTX chips on a very high price for a long time. Sorry for the coughing. But yeah, I believe RTX will be the future, especially for streamers and YouTubers, stuff like that. Maybe not this first generation. I think those that jump on now, I would love to do it. It's a chance that RTX will be, as I think it will, an extremely big thing on YouTube. Reload speed. And actually, there was nothing I could do over in... Yeah. I've already driven a lot of my friends insane. Two of those high quality skins, or rare skins. That need bear, that need bear. That just need the high quality. That need bear. Well, then we can use all the points on upgrading our equipment. Question is, should we finish? Yeah, let's finish the pistol. Then we have everything in level 1. And we need better crafting tools to get down here. Oh my god. That looks, except for the extended mag, that kinda looks like the pistol from the movie. With Angelina Jolie, the first one. Where she shoots the robot with those two pistols. The most important point to make is the fact that if you imagine watching two different streamers, seeing playing the same game at same resolution, same frame rate, and one had the RTX on, I personally think that people would get a better experience out of the better graphics. Better
Trigger mechanism for a
system.
bomb. It's the same handiwork. He must have been gathering the supplies for a long time.
Let me guess. Just a guess, but
Yes, that's it. The water's blocked. Damn it. Got to find a way to block it for good.
yeah.
Must be a way to
That
free
was
another
kind of
cart.
too easy, though.
Must be a way to free another cart.
Oh, maybe if I jump that way. Let's jump this way first.
Must be a way to free another cart. Another mural.
Nothing about reading it and nothing about...
Must be a way to free another cart.
Oh. I have read it. Didn't say I was going up in Russian.
Must be a way to free another cart. Must be a way to free another cart.
No. Yeah, I can shoot there. But that do not help me. That is weird. And standing here don't help us.
Must be a way to free another cart.
Oh. It did help us. Yeah, depends on the YouTuber too. I don't know which YouTubers, except for me, you watch that much, but imagine your two favorite YouTubers playing the same game. One with RTX and one without RTX. Oh, no reason to do that. Need to jump out here.
That did it. Now for a little fire.
Fire! By the way, reckoning happening tonight. More server. I just can't remember. Well, I will try to be there this time. Haven't been on Ren for like forever. Not because I didn't want to, but I'm preparing for the worst, and when people tell me that I should expect between,
The workers had finally
what
had
is it,
enough.
2 and 6 weeks of not being able to speak properly and stuff like that,
Looks like they dragged it out of here.
I kinda, yeah, do what I do worst. Is there a way in there? Oh, it's from out there, then that way. Well, hope I didn't miss anything out there. Well, let's take a look at this one.
It's an ancient codex. A philosophical argument on the virtue of awareness.
Bright eyes. Improved survival instinct causes nearby traps to glow automatically.
So much damage between the amateur excavation and the cave-in. But it must be connected to the Prophet.
So I could not dig it up, and then I used survival instinct, and then I could dig it up.
This
That
shaft
was
must
weird.
have been where they first broke through. Should lead out as well.
Yeah, if it's a game you like, then it might be a good thing. So, but I really hope that a lot of games use the game developers use the resources to make updates for older games to give them RTX. Try to imagine games like the forest. Well, even this one, Tomb Raider. I know it's an older game. But in my mind, it would kind of work. Of course, I don't know how big of an update it would have to be. And I don't know how long it will take. Yeah. I heard the rumors. I don't know what happened to our faction, the faction I'm in. I have not been on since last time. Well, you did watch the entire Nvidia thingy with me, and of course, people that didn't watch it have no chance of knowing what we are talking about as such. You think my faction got minimum damage? Well, all the outer walls was stone, so that helps, of course. And I know we had spent a lot of time upgrading the walls. I just haven't been on because I'm preparing for having a lot of time where I'm not even able to record, not even if I wanted to. Which means I stream a lot, and because the first planned time was the 18th, I thought, well, then I could do the Tomb Raider, continue after this. So the new one. That will not help. It's cloth. And I don't have anything to use cloth for.